You're kidding.
I didn't hit record. I got to start over.
Oh, no. Kidding me.
At least it wasn't like 30 minutes in.
It's okay.
I made sure all 3 microphones were recording, and then I forgot to hit the button. I'm very tired. Let's do that again. Yeah.
Reset. Are we all on?
It was a warm-up.
We are all on. We are all on. We're all getting levels. Red, 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 red. It's not usually like this. Usually it's a well-oiled machine. Don't watch the Page Master episode. Just take my word for it. Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here. And today we're talking about The Final Destination. And we're going to ask ourselves, did 3D ruin this movie? Today on Hack the Movies. Hello, Casey, for the first time today.
Hey, Tony.
How are you doing, Casey?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I definitely hit record, and we didn't record for 5 minutes when I wasn't rolling audio. I'm doing great.
Well, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you, too. But before we get in this movie, I have to ask someone a question. Who are you? Properly introduce
hi.
yourself.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm here. Hi, my name is Tess. I do horror art, and that's how we met. We met at Monster Mania, the horror convention, and I started a YouTube channel. 3 videos. That's why we're doing this.
Yes, I'm glad you started the YouTube channel. That's when I realized you did videos. So I was like, good, get them on the show.
Yeah.
And I had been following Tess for a really long time and always loved her work. And then when I was at one of the conventions, I don't even remember, like a year ago?
I
No,
think it was the
2 years
first
ago.
one I did.
Oh, yeah, it was the first one you did. I like walked past and I did a double take. No, and I'm like, no way. You're here? You're in this area? I definitely thought she was from LA. I was like, great.
I was telling her before the show.
I give LA vibes.
I went to like her Instagram and like the mutual followers. So many people we know follow her. So
Yeah.
a lot of you probably
Thanks.
know who she is. But yeah, today we're talking about The Final Destination, which the 5-film DVD glow in the dark pack has renamed Final Destination 4. Yeah, because that was like a thing. The late 2000s, early 2010s, a lot of movies were either adding or dropping "thes" from the title. Of course, we all know The Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
The 4th film was called just Fast and Furious. This movie did the opposite. Their 4th one added the. That 4th one dropped the. But yeah, this one brings back writers Eric Bress and director David R. Ellis from Part 2.
Surprisingly.
Which I love. That's still, I think, the best one. What do you think?
Is 2 the one? No, I think I like 3. Is 3 the 4th of July roller coaster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
And
that
I'm really being
controversial? Saying I
outnumbered
like
here.
that
I
one?
really thought
Well,
2
my
was-
favorite
You
is
like
3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought everyone's favorite was
Yeah.
2. I'm starting to learn
Is 2
everyone
the
really liked
logs?
3.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Which changed an entire generation, as we know.
Yeah, traumatized everyone.
Yes. Most iconic.
Even though I think Mythbusters did a thing like the logs wouldn't fall that way.
Come on.
Wouldn't bounce into your
No, they
car?
wouldn't bounce. They would literally just fall off and just roll
Yeah.
away. I mean, it would probably still ruin everyone's day.
Yeah,
but
probably
it
cause,
wouldn't
like, an
bounce
accident or
into. Yeah, it would still cause a major accident. It just wouldn't chop your head
Yeah.
off. Yeah, so I was very excited knowing that they were coming back because of how much I love to. And then I heard that they were going to do a racetrack opening. And since the highway
Right.
pileup was so great, I'm like, oh, they're definitely going to outdo themselves this time.
Exactly.
David R. Ellis came back for 2 reasons. One, they wanted James Wong to come back, but he had scheduling conflicts with Dragon Ball Evolution, the live-action Dragon Ball movie. That was a mistake. Everyone should have just walked off that movie. I'm not even the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan, but I remember watching that movie going, oh, this is bad.
Never seen it.
And for some reason, David R. Ellis really wanted to work with 3D. Like, that was like the thing
When
he
did
wanted.
It was
the Texas Chainsaw one 3D too?
That was a few
Yeah.
years after this, yeah.
Oh, it was
Texas Chainsaw
after.
3D.
Okay.
It was like the time. I feel like every
Yeah.
movie in 2009 was
Yeah,
3D.
we did My Bloody Valentine,
Oh,
which was
yes,
in 3D.
in 3D. Did either of you see this movie in 3D?
I did.
Final Destination?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
You did?
This is the only one I've seen in theaters.
What?
I was
wonder if
super
I did.
pumped. I was like, we got to go to the theater to see this.
Yeah.
A producer here said that he wanted to add depth to the film instead of something just popping out of the audience every 4 minutes.
I think congratulations are in order.
And I have a note here. That producer lied because it's just things popping out at the
Yeah,
audience.
very
every
Time
unnecessary.
for
time.
3D. 3D time. time. That's how I
Yes.
felt
Yeah.
every time.
And now I feel bad because usually when we do these, I do the whole gimmick where I put
Yeah.
the glasses on and then we shoot a VR 3D segment, but I forgot to charge the camera. So
You guys,
But now you just have
it
the glasses on.
happens sometimes.
yes, but I can't keep these on. These really hurt. This
Yeah.
is for my Dr. Jacoby outfit when I
Yeah.
did the Twin Peaks cosplay. I don't know how that actor wore this during the shoot. Like it's hurting right now. I'm going to take them off. That was a total lie because it is just stuff popping out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw this in the theater. I was super hyped. And then I hadn't watched it till last night.
Same.
Yeah. And I feel you're like me. As we were rewatching
Yeah.
it, we were like,
Not
oh,
holding up.
that's why I don't revisit this
Yeah.
one.
I forgot it was in 3D and I was watching it and like the overt things coming out of the screen. I'm like, this is not.
Yeah.
No one's watching things in 3D
Yeah.
anymore. No one has
No.
3D glasses at home. No one's
No.
well, other than you. And, so I'm watching it. I'm like, this is kind of tacky.
Yeah.
But before watching it, the only thing I remembered was the opening song.
What was the opening
Take it and take it and take it.
That's right.
That's all I remembered. And I do remember liking it
Mm.
because the last time I watched this was literally, when were we? Like, I think I was in middle school or something.
Mm.
And I was watching it before school. And then I finished it when I got
Oh
home.
my god.
I like that you said you were in middle school. I'm like, oh, I was in like college.
Then I had to have been in high school.
You had to have
maybe.
been in high school.
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, but I still like it. Like, I still like it.
It's-
It has, like, a good place in my heart.
Yeah.
But it is,
The acting.
Really bad.
it's bad.
However, it was the highest grossing Final Destination
Right.
movie
Which
of
makes-
all time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because 2 kind of underperformed, and we talk about in the episode, I think home video saved that movie, and everyone was like, that's awesome. 3 did really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, everyone came back for this one, but the reviews were very negative.
Yeah.
It made another 15 million in home video. People were hyped for this
I
movie.
have it on DVD.
Yes. That's not part of the trilogy set, though.
No,
I love
it's
that you have
not.
the Final
It's
Destination
separate.
trilogy
Yeah,
box
I have
set.
that. No, this is a separate.
But yeah, let's get into this
Okay.
wonderful film. It opens up with the New Line Cinema logo, which the film reels come toward the logo, but then they stop and they come back toward the screen. And I went, oh, wow. So that producer's super lied because literally the movie didn't even start yet and they're pulling that gimmick. And then we see very digital cars on a very digital racetrack. They do not hold up. Like, these are bad.
Wait, is this
I don't think-
before the credits or after?
Before the credits.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is the one Final Destination where like the opening kill is before the credits.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, these race cars are going around the track and they just
Video
look
game
like,
graphics.
Yes, video game. It reminds me of like the early Fast and the Furious movie, like 2, where it's like this doesn't look real at
Yeah.
all. So that's already taken me out of the movie.
And they shot at a real place.
Yeah.
With real cars.
Oh, it was called the
Did they really?
McKinley
Yes,
Speedway.
in the movie, yes. But yes, they did.
Yeah, so
forget
McKinley
where.
Speedway. This is in the same town from Final Destination 3,
Uh-huh.
apparently. I would move the hell out of that town.
No. And I was looking for little Easter eggs, and
There's
yeah,
a bunch.
There's a lot.
There's
Yeah.
so many.
There are so many.
Yes.
Because they had to reference all the other movies because it's the Final Destination.
Right.
So yeah, we meet our new group of friends. One of them is Hunt, played by Nick Zano, who was on CW's The Legends of Tomorrow. And Janet, who I know from nothing. Do you know what she's from?
Which
Is
one
that
is
the
she?
brunette?
Yes,
Yeah, I
not the
don't know
redhead.
brunette. I know the redhead.
Yeah, I know the redhead.
No, I don't.
Lori, the redhead, who is Chantel Van Satin.
Yeah, from The Boys.
What is she
The
from?
Boys.
She's on The Boys?
Yeah, she's Butcher's wife.
Oh, I don't watch
Yeah.
The Boys.
Oh, you should watch The Boys.
But I know her from The Flash. She was in the second season of The Flash. Where,
Boys is too violent for me.
huh?
It's too violent.
You like
Even though I
horror
love
movies.
Terrifier and stuff.
I know. I
It's
just
too violent.
no. I'm still mad that Amazon canceled The Tick on a cliffhanger
Wow.
and then greenlit The Boys. And I was like, no, finish the other one
The
first.
Boys
before
is
you-
great though.
The Tick was great. All right.
I don't know what the tick is.
The Tick with the blue comedy, like he's like in a blue suit. Oh man, you're missing
Yeah,
out. It was
yeah.
good. It was good. Yeah, she was also Patty Spivot on The Flash, which apparently I learned from an episode with Frank. The fans nicknamed her Big Booty Spivot.
Oh.
Frank said that as if that was like everything all Flash fans knew. I'm like, no, Frank, that's you. Is that what people were calling her?
Does she have a big butt?
I guess so. I don't
we
know.
see her in her undies. I don't.
Yeah.
It looked fine to me. I don't know why fans were. I Googled it afterwards. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of weird Flash fans obsessed with this lady.
Wait, is Hunt the friend?
Yes.
Okay, he's
Yes.
from What I Like About You.
Yes, that's what I
Yes.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's Nick, played by Bobby Campo. I know he was in the Scream TV
Yes.
show.
He was the teacher who's inappropriate with a student.
In the Scream show?
Yes.
I haven't watched the Scream show in a long time.
It was so good.
No, I watched it. Well,
yeah.
the first season was really good,
Mhm.
and then it really fell off.
Oh.
So yeah, his character name is Nick, and I recently shot with Gil, and he had a really fun fact about this character that they had to change his name in the script, but they did like a word replace, so it was Tom, so they switched it to Nick. But now every word that had T-O-M in it became Nick. So if it was like, I'll see you tomorrow, it'd be like, I'll see you Nick Morrow. I don't know how Gil knew that. I couldn't find anything.
So
He did some
random.
deep research that they did an autocorrect and it just did it too well. They're hanging out the speedway. He's starting to notice things like his bench is cracking. Also,
We're in 180.
yes, the
Section
180,
180.
section 180, because the flight in the first movie was 180, and they
okay.
constantly
Yeah.
called back to that.
Also, whenever you pass, do you ever like drive to Long Beach Island?
No.
LBI. Oh, well, you pass the New Egypt racetrack, so it always reminds me of this.
Oh God.
Just thought I'd share.
So you're thinking of Final Destination
Yes,
4?
it brings
That's
me comfort.
horrifying.
Is it just like because it's a racetrack?
Yes.
Oh.
All of
Any
them bring
racetrack.
me comfort. They do.
Again, the
very
boys are
comforting
too
movie.
violent. But when I want to relax, I put on my comfort
I'm thinking
movie,
about
Final
people's heads
Destination.
being taken off
Yes.
by logs. It's just really like lulls
Yeah.
me to sleep.
Why?
Who would let their girlfriend drink out of a stranger's hidden flask? He has binoculars that are actually a flask.
Who would ask a stranger to drink their drink?
I mean,
It was a different time.
I wouldn't do it at like a speedway or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I also wouldn't do it at their age. In college, who knows what the fuck I was like, oh, what's that? Ah. But no, they're like adults, young adults, but like they shouldn't be drinking out of strangers' mystery flask. Like, what are you doing? And the boyfriend's like, yeah, let my girlfriend drink out of your drink. I'm like, what are you doing,
She
guys?
just yanks it out of his hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a cowboy who shows up and he blocks their view and they're like, hey, cowboy, can you move? Not even take off your hat. It's like,
I
can
know.
you move? He's
Everyone's just rude.
That was. But also, why did he just take off the hat? He's like, no, I'm wearing this goddamn hat.
This is part of the outfit.
The only thing that'll get this hat off me is a race car coming off the track. Then we see a mom put tampons in her kids' ears.
I don't think that would work.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, for sound.
By the way, I don't think she thinks it'll work because she's laughing at
Yeah.
them. She's
Yeah.
kind of the worst. Actually,
Yeah.
that whole family is sort of the worst.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
I looked up because I was watching it. I was like, she looks really familiar. She's the elevator woman from Liar Liar. I'm sure she's in other stuff too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do know. Yes, I did know that. She's also on an episode of The X-Files,
Oh.
which ties it all together because Final Destination
Yeah.
started as an
Oh,
unused
yeah.
X-Files script. She was in the terrible episode First Person Shooter. A girl makes like a video game, a VR video game, but like the character she makes goes rogue and starts killing people for real. And she was like this sexy,
Oh.
evil video game
That's
lady.
cool.
They got famous sci-fi author William Gibson to write that episode. It's like one of the worst episodes. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. But that's how I know her. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's the video game lady. I know her.
Just like super vague things.
Yeah.
I'm like that woman from the elevator in Liar Liar.
Because she was like a model. She's not a good
Yeah,
actress.
no.
And like they only pretty much used her because she was hot.
Yeah.
I thought she was trying.
She was trying.
Everyone
Yeah.
in this movie was trying.
You can try and still really be bad at things. I
Yeah.
do it all the time. But yeah, Nick starts to feel uneasy and he's looking around. We've become used to this formula now. The good old workers at the Death Factory are up to their old tricks. They knock over some oil onto the track, which makes one car kind of skid. I love that Janet asks if the fence is safe to block them from stuff. Like, yeah,
Right.
it's safe. Cut to a screw just popping out of the
Two
fence.
screws just unscrewing on their own. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we're a little confused with the Death Factory here.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they
like
have the wind do
supernatural.
it. Yeah. But then sometimes things do move supernatural. Like the biggest one was the toilet in the first movie, how the water goes back into the, like it's covering up its tracks. It never tried to cover up its tracks again.
I think he does feel something. He says like, "Oh, did you feel that?"
He feels so. I just mean the way death does the things. Sometimes it's a little too supernatural.
Yeah.
Like the screws unscrewing themselves. So yeah, another car takes off while being refueled. He's in a rush, I guess.
Right.
Like the pump is
He's like,
stuck
I don't
in
need
the
that. I don't need that to drive.
By the way, they have like walkie-talkies. They have radios in those cars. They can be like, "Hey, dude, you gotta like stop." Drops a piece of pump on the track. It causes a flat, and it sends a car flying, and then a wheel smashes through a girl. Just annihilates her.
Well, it was the girlfriend, right?
Yes, it was. Which girlfriend was it? It was
The one who drank out of the thing.
Yes, that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets hit with the
That
wheel.
got me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty
Yeah.
fast. And then a second car crashes into the stands. 2 people get sliced. Now, apparently, something like this happened in real life. There was some kind of like race. Oh, God, I forgot to write it down. It was like in the 50s or something where there was like a huge accident. And apparently 2 people did get bisected by a car hood. So that's horrifying.
Was it in New Egypt?
I don't think it was in New Egypt. I think we'd know about it if it was.
Yeah.
And then they put fences up.
And then they were like, you know what?
Wait, we
should
should
probably put some fences.
Uh-huh.
I love that it wasn't, hey, maybe we shouldn't race cars like assholes. It's pretty dangerous. Like, no. Let's put fences up. We're going to keep racing these cars.
But you could just tell, like, they had so many extras and not many, so they just were reworking with the same people.
Well, it's
that
always
they could.
just that little section where
section,
everything
I
is
know.
happening.
Oh yeah. Like, was everyone else on the other side okay? Were they like, damn, that was
Yeah,
crazy
right?
over there? Thank God we sat over here.
Which goes, I think the mom gets the engine in her torso, which looks horrible. The effects are really bad in this.
And they did a lot of practical things, which makes no sense.
Where?
Exactly. You wouldn't know, but she was a dummy.
Yeah.
But then they.
Well, I think it's like sometimes you can have like a really good like practical effect and dummy, but if you have a distracting CGI effect in the same scene, it'll pull away from it.
So there's no point. And like they did use a real car.
Yeah. Well, the one car flipping looked real.
No, I mean when it crashes in. To the cowboy.
Yeah, that looked pretty real, but everything else looked awful. Like the engine like moves a little too quick and then it stops a little too quick. The cowboy gets slammed into a pillar. His death's not that interesting. And then the bench finally breaks and the one boyfriend falls into it. And of course it's popping out. The bench goes through his mouth at the camera.
Pretty time.
And then they ran out of ideas, so the cement pillars just break and just crush everyone.
That's kind of boring. This is
They
instant.
really like ran out of ideas pretty late. I'm like, come on, you're the guy who did 2. That's like the most awesome opening ever. This one sucks. So an explosion goes off and kills the rest of them. We forgot to mention, there's a security guard named George.
Yes.
Oh, George.
You may recognize him.
Yes, it bothered me the whole movie.
Really?
And I had to
What is
look
he?
it up.
He's
Bubba
from
from Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Shut up. Really?
You might not have known because he wasn't talking about shrimp.
Yeah, Bubba Gum. Oh my God.
That guy should have a thing in his contract where it's like, I need to talk about shrimp so
At least
people
once.
remember who I am.
Yeah. Well, my boyfriend
Wow.
called it right away, and I'm like, "Are you sure?" And then I IMDb. Yep, it's him.
Wow.
Does your boyfriend still not like me?
What do you
'Cause
mean?
I- 'cause I made fun of
I'll
Zack
have to ask him. But this was his favorite, and then we watched it. He's like, "Oh God."
Oh,
Ugh.
that is the worst when you rewatch a movie that you thought was
Yeah.
great and you
Yeah.
go, oh, no, that was not good.
I just did that with the new prom night. It's bad.
The Prom Night
Oh,
remake?
Yeah.
I love that though.
It doesn't hold up.
I know. That movie scared me
Yeah.
when I was young. We have to do that.
I'll do
When a
all.
Stranger Calls.
I will do
Yeah. You should
come
all.
back for those.
I will
One
do
missed
a
call.
whole what is the best prom night episode.
Yes, we should do that.
Because 2 and 3 have nothing to do with prom night except there's a prom and they just slap the name on it. But the original prom night with Jamie Lee Curtis
Yeah.
dancing, I can just watch that scene on a loop. That movie's awesome. I don't think I ever saw the remake. Actually,
What?
It's not good. It was good when I watched it when it first came out, but
It's funny. Like
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna watch Bloody Valentine 3D and not like it, and I ended up liking it
Yeah, you
even
did.
more. I'm like, this is even better than I thought. He snaps back. He realizes it was all a vision. He starts warning them. Classic. We've seen it.
Barely. He's like, cowboy coming in. this
use
is going to happen
words.
next.
Actually, he's a little bit smarter than everyone else because everyone's
Really?
just like, something's going to happen and we have to leave. And it's just
True.
like, no, be specific so they believe you.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I feel like I would have just been like, we all need to go
Yes.
right now. Like, just dress
Get out.
So yeah, they get into a bit of a fight. The mechanic leaves with his girlfriend, his wife. The
wife.
mechanic has a girlfriend. The other guy has a wife. There's an angry guy who has a wife.
A very angry guy.
So two couples follow
The
them.
racist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh God, I got a lot
That's
of.
all they call him.
I got a lot of things.
Racist.
Yeah, he doesn't have a name. I think
Not
it's
even
just
in
a-
IMDb. It's
Not even
racist.
tow truck
It's
driver.
just racist.
Well, I think what's her face is just MILF. I think that's her
Yeah.
literal her credit is
We
MILF.
lost a hot MILF.
Back in the day when you could credit someone like that, like, yes, I play MILF in Final
Wow.
Destination.
Which is funny because she does have like a slightly larger role than just being the MILF.
Yeah, they could have given
like some
given her a
lines.
first name. I don't think it
Yeah.
would have hurt too much. So yeah, they all get pulled out. So it's Bubba, George,
Bubba.
the two couples, and then the friend group. And then the crash happens. But I like Nick. He's like, there's going to be a crash. And then you hear the sound. He's like, yeah, that one happening right now. It's not like a shock wherever, like all the previous ones are like, oh my God, it actually happened. He's like, yeah, look, I said it would.
It's like, you guys don't remember this happening like 4 other times ago?
Yeah, but I love right before it cuts to the credits, like the angry girlfriend just being like, blah, blah, blah. And then the wheel that was
Yes.
meant to kill her pops over the stadium.
It found her.
Have you all lost your fucking mind?
It found her.
That was the guys in the Death Factory. Like, oh, God, like 5 of them left, but I think we can still get one with the wheel. We just got to move the wheel around. People keep saying I have to do a skit of just like a bunch of Grim Reapers with like a chalkboard, like figuring out deaths. Where like the one is like, no, you're overcomplicating it. Just have the car crash into them. No, but what if the pillar drops? Like, stop it. And then we get the opening credit sequence, which this was kind of fun to see in 3D. It's all the deaths from the previous movies, but as 3D X-ray,
Yes.
which was really, really cool. Except they do Sean William Scott's, and the guy's face looks nothing like Sean William Scott. They're like, we can't get his image and likeness. But yeah, we see some of our favorite deaths. But yeah, that opening scene really was a big letdown for me. And again, if it had been a new director, I would have been like, whatever.
Understandable. Mhm.
Yes. The fact that it was like the guy, and it was supposed to be a follow-up to the car crash in the second one. Like James Wan, he did an airplane and a roller coaster. It was like 2 totally separate things. But if you're doing car again, it's like, all right, you got to make it like really awesome. And it sucked. And the effects and the 3D do not help it. Like that 2 pile up, I could watch over and over again.
Yep.
Which I forgot. I
Same.
think
It brings me comfort.
I forgot to mention in the episode when I was still in Cinemassacre, we did Ernest Saves Christmas. And there's a scene in that movie where he stops traffic because he has a Christmas tree. And I actually at the time I spliced him into Final Destination 2. So
Oh my goodness.
So it made it look like
Please
Ernest was
post
coming.
it.
So I have a thing where I edit it where like he throws the Christmas tree into his car and it cuts to the cop getting that.
That's so funny.
I forgot to include that. I'll put it here.
Whoa, little creep.
Open up. Here, hold this a minute.
The next day, they're at Death by Caffeine. I would have picked any other cafe.
Yeah.
Right.
Just any.
They're like, wow, we're really sad. What about this restaurant?
What about this one that's death themed? Like, how about we go literally anywhere else? They question Nick about his vision. Then they go to a candlelight vigil, and some survivors thank Nick. They're like, "Thank you so much. You saved a bunch of people." The security guard thanks him, and then they get chewed out by the racist, who I forgot. He just drops a hard N-bomb, and I'm like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
It was like Manny Muskets was in the movie. He's just many muskets, goddammit. Yeah, he just drops an arm. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, okay, he's upset, but I would have. Even Nick is like, hey, buddy, can you calm down?
Whoa.
Look, your wife was horribly murdered, but could you just relax? Then that night, Nick gets a vision. And all the other visions in the previous movies were like subtle. No, his visions are really bad, cartoony, PlayStation 1 graphic 3D effects. And I was like, come on. Like, what the hell? He sees the horseshoe and then the big crane with the hook. I'm like, this looks like garbage. Why did they allow this to happen?
I wonder if you felt that way watching it in 3D.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I think
You watched it yesterday in 3D.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But in the
When you first
theater.
saw it. Yeah.
In the theater, I remember going like,
Yeah, how could you? Oh, you have the DVD. Could you watch it in 3D?
No, that's not a 3D DVD.
Oh my gosh.
No, I mean, I probably could get an old Blu-ray.
Maybe it's a different viewing experience in 3D.
Maybe.
I just remember watching it 3D in the theater, and I remember that was like the main thing. Like, especially these, because all the other clues in the earlier movies were like fun, where they had to piece it together.
Yeah.
But this one's like a horseshoe and a crane gonna light someone on fire. Better go stop it. I'm like, oh, all right.
Which
Kinda-
he doesn't.
It kind of does.
His visions remind me of Raven from That's So Raven.
This is another example of Casey not realizing that I did not watch a lot of Disney Channel, and she says things as if I was there.
understand the Raven.
You get it, right? It goes like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then she comes back, she's like,
Yeah.
My little sister watched That So Raven,
know.
and I would
gotta
just be
talk to
like,
her
"This
about
show sucks. I'm not watching it."
What? How dare you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that teenage boy Tony didn't like That So Raven. How dare I? Cut to the racist truck driver in his tow truck, which wasn't it like Carter Towing or something?
Destiny.
yeah, Destiny.
Destiny
Destiny.
Towing.
Okay, there's something called Carter, which was the name of the asshole in the first.
I think
movie.
it is his name, Carter. His name really is Carter.
Okay.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, that's one of
Because
the
they already
callbacks.
have a
Yeah.
Carter.
I know. But yeah, he
Carter,
is.
you dick.
No, look, Carter, you dick. That was Jess's favorite running
That was,
gag.
I was crying, laughing, watching their first Final Destination episode. So
He
funny.
says it like
'cause Jess
15
just
times.
says
Carter,
it
you dick.
every time he says
Okay.
it.
Okay, I get that he's mourning, and I get that he was racist. But is he also a Klansman? Because I feel like the Flaming Cross.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
I guess he was. I'm just like, man, that is like, that is like real racism. Right
That's also
there.
like just like a lot of effort to.
It also feels like a lot of effort. I feel like those guys, I don't know them personally,
Yeah.
but I feel like they work together. Also, I don't know if they're really doing it that much these days. Especially with the advent of Ring cameras. Although that would be the funniest Ring camera. Just a drunk guy
like-
failing and then lighting himself on fire.
I know, he like looks out the window and sees him going down the street, and he's just like, "Wow." I feel like I'd react a little different. I'd be like, "Oh my god, what the?"
Yeah, so he drives down the street, bumping into other cars. He gets ready to set up his flaming cross. I was like, Jesus Christ. So the horseshoe on his mirror falls and then puts his car in neutral, I think, and sends it down the street. Oh, and it drops his crane. And then he goes to chase after it. When does the lighter fluid come into this?
Oh,
I don't know.
Somehow.
because he was. Did he dump it on the cross already at this point, or was it in his truck still? Maybe it got knocked over. I
Maybe
can't
he spilled it
remember.
onto himself. Somehow lighter fluid spills.
Yeah.
And he gets wrapped up in the chain. This is so stupid. He gets wrapped up in the chain and it drags him, and then the sparks from the crane ignite the fire. And you're right, it's just like slowly
The
drags him down
slowest drag down the street.
and no one makes an effort.
could have been stopped.
That's so true.
You know, he saw the cross in his front yard, and he was like,
I get why he didn't
Yeah.
help, but like no one else would. I'm like, oh, that guy's like
Yeah.
still really alive. We should probably put a towel on.
because then, like, coming up in the movie, someone's like, "Oh, this person, the hairdresser, couldn't come into work because someone on their street got caught on fire."
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Which
like,
I
so
guess the
you
car
also
did-
saw it.
The truck did blow up. I don't know why that would stop you from going
Yeah,
in
it
the
did blow up, and his head landed in the
Oh,
guy's yard.
it blows up.
He's like,
I feel like I'd be like, "Yeah, I couldn't come into work today. Something kind of crazy happened on my
very
street.
true.
I'm
It's
not
funny 'cause-
affected by it at all, but I'm not coming in."
Yeah, look, a guy's head just landed on
Yeah.
my lawn. I'm gonna need a couple days
Yeah.
to deal with it.
That actor did do some of the stunt.
Easy,
Some of the
yeah.
The
dragging.
exploding part of it.
The dragging.
Oh, I forgot. The funniest part of the scene is why can't we be
We
friends?
be
Oh
friends.
yes! Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was actually because he's
Yeah, that
doing
was
a
good.
very hateful thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And literally, if he just decided to be friends, he could have spared himself.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Also, that's like a real ironic death where it's like he wanted to light on fire, so he lit on fire. I don't remember death being super like jokey before this. So then Nick has another vision of CGI scissors jumping at the screen. And he lets Lori know. Then we learn that we can see the tampon kids again. We're just calling them that. And they are assholes.
Yeah.
How they survived that first thing, I don't know. But they're like, hey, let's throw rocks at the lawnmower. Now, look, I was like a shitty kid, but like I never did anything like this. I never
Yeah.
would think to throw a rock at a lawnmower just for fun. But yeah, she like gives them money. She's like, go to the arcade, get out of here. And this is when she finds out that like the person didn't come in because someone died on
Had a
the
bad
block.
day.
And she's like, well, I really need a haircut. Could you just stay open?
Wasn't it like 2 minutes before closing
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Ugh.
So rude.
Okay, so there's been a lot of like creepy stuff in these movies that are unsettling. The extreme close up on the toenail, I wanted to throw up.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
That was like too much for me.
And
I'm
the
like,
noise, the like
yeah,
super
I'm just
loud.
like, I like
Yeah.
wanted to fast forward. I'm like,
I
no.
thought we were going to see some blood there. No.
Yeah, I thought there'd be. However, this one was
Ugh.
pretty good. They did something similar, I think, in the second movie when he goes to the doctor's office and they set up all this potential stuff that doesn't happen. They do it again here,
Yep.
where like literally everything in here can kill her. Like the seat's broken, so she might like jump and get nicked by the scissors. The fan is coming loose. There's a spill. And it's actually really, really tense. But like in my mind, maybe because I've seen it before, I'm like, well, they set up that rocker. Obviously,
Yeah.
the
Well,
rock is
with
going to
this,
do it.
I couldn't remember. I kept thinking of there's another death in another Final Destination movie with the eye.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't remember if that's in this one.
What is the other eye
It's
death?
in the fifth one. Oh, you don't
okay.
remember?
I don't remember a lot. I remember really liking the
Should
fifth
I
one, but I
say it
haven't
or
rewatched
no?
it. I don't know. Are you going to spoil the movie for me?
You did. So yeah, I'll say it.
All right, Tess, we need a neutral party here.
So I
No.
also don't remember. Final
Don't,
Destination
do not.
Wait, what? What?
No.
No, I'm not going
No.
to say specific. Okay.
Just watch
if
them all in
you've
order.
seen a movie
No.
and forgot something and someone reminds you of a part in a movie that you have already seen but had forgotten, is that a spoiler?
Yes.
There's a gray area because in my head it's not. If it's like something like one of the deaths, I wouldn't consider that a spoiler because I
Right.
feel like you're anticipating people dying
Yeah.
in the
Right.
movie. But if it's like a twist
Yes.
of a movie that you forgot, I would consider that a spoiler.
Don't even say it. Because if you haven't seen it for a while.
Wait, what? Can I know
No.
what movie?
Final
last
Destination
one.
5.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
Okay,
Oh.
good,
Yeah.
good. But the death, can I say the death?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was a death. I can't even remember now. But it's the eye surgery. She's getting LASIK.
Right. Okay, I remember that now. It's not a spoiler.
It
It's
is
a
a spoiler.
reminder.
Don't
I'm
even.
sorry you
don't even
forgot,
talk
but
about
it's
it.
just-
Anyway, there also is.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Casey counts movie posters and trailers as spoilers.
Sometimes.
Trailers nowadays are.
Yeah, now trailers-
Trailers are
Thank you,
showing
Tess.
the whole movie now before I have a grudge against Abigail and Companion.
Oh.
They
Oh, I haven't
totally-
seen Companion yet, so I didn't watch the
Companion
trailer.
was good.
Go
Companion
in
was good.
without seeing the trailer.
Don't say.
Well, no, the first trailer I thought was vague enough, but leading up to it, all the stuff, I'm like, oh, now I know everything
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
The first trailer was perfect.
Yeah.
And Abigail, I could go off.
And I didn't watch the Hard Eyes trailer, but I liked Hard Eyes.
Hard
It's
Eyes
good.
I
was-
haven't seen it yet.
Hard
Okay, I
Eyes
won't say
was-
anything.
I wanna see it 'cause I like
loved
Josh
Hard
Oh,
Groban.
I
Eyes.
love that you love
Yeah.
I
it.
loved Hard Eyes so
Oh, I
much.
have to go see it because I like Game Changers. Is that what Josh Rubin's on? The director of it. He does like a game show.
Well, he
Oh,
did a movie
maybe.
called Scare Me, which was also really
Yeah.
good, with the girl from The Boys. I think
Oh,
the
really?
racist lady from The Boys is in that one.
But I saw it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
go see it.
So did I. I watched 3 movies in 24
Oh,
hours on
yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Oh my
I've been
God.
single
That's
for a
the
couple years.
perfect Valentine's Day.
I got home from my flight. I'm like, I gotta watch all these movies for
I
work.
love
Let's
it.
just do it on Valentine's Day.
Anyway,
Anyway,
there's a another one where there's a hot iron, and is it like the hairspray bottle that's attracting?
Oh, yeah. That's also
Sliding
in there.
over there.
So all these things are going to be
Yes.
set up. Her kids run in, and then everything happens at once. Her chair falls. The fan falls. The kids slip. The thing explodes, but then she's totally fine.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, that was fun. I just wish they didn't advertise the rocks so much. Because even
Yeah.
like in part 2, you see them moving the big glass outside, but you don't realize early on that that's like part of it. This one, you're like, well, yeah, that rock's coming back. And sure enough, she's like, I've got my eyes on you kids. Turns around and the rock goes through it. So yeah, the new guy at the Death Factory, he's a failed comedian apparently. And he's just adding way too many jokes to his kills.
Yeah, those people stayed after their shift all for nothing. So sad.
My favorite part is her like apologizing afterwards, like, "Oh, thanks for staying late and doing my hair." I'm like, you almost died numerous times getting your hair done. Like a hairspray bottle exploded, a fan almost fell on you. Yeah, you stayed late, but like they almost killed you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Thanks for doing this for me."
However, the most like morbid part of this, because so the lawnmower guy runs over the rock, which kills her, but he's not aware of it. So he's just like having a good time lawnmower while you just hear kids screaming in the
And
back.
her feet like hanging out of the door. He's just like,
Like, this is so fucked up.
Then they see it in the article or in the newspaper
okay, yeah.
somewhere. They see her death,
They see her death.
and that guy.
It's like,
says-
oh man, that MILF died.
lost a hot
No,
milk.
yeah, we lost the hot milk.
But real quick, we get the obligatory, we looked up if this had happened before scene. It's like, okay. Every movie now, they have to do the thing where like, we looked it up and other people had this vision.
But they're like, okay, now don't laugh at us. I would be like, okay, friends, don't be scared. But this is what's going
We're all
on.
gonna die. And you're next.
And they don't know about the new life breaking the chain thing because they don't meet Tony Todd because he's not in this one at all.
Right. Why wasn't he in this one? Why wasn't he in it?
Oh. He was the voice of the main bad guy in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh, I
Which
didn't
was
know
a
that.
audio thing. So he couldn't be in the
Yeah,
movie.
I
They
don't-
couldn't.
Like at least a little bit.
I doubt they had Tony Todd in a motion capture suit being a
Yeah.
robot. Like, I think it was just his voice, but apparently, I mean, granted, that movie was way bigger, but like, apparently he was doing voice stuff for that, so he wasn't able to be in the, like, even as like a voice role, they weren't even able to get
Yeah.
him. So that was, because the third one, he's not in physically, but he voices the devil and the train conductor. But don't worry, comes back in the next one, which I won't spoil, even though you both have seen it.
Don't.
Janet doesn't like hearing any of this stuff. She hates the supernatural stuff. She's like, I don't want to hear this. I gotta leave. And they're like, can you just listen to us a little bit? She's
It's
like, no.
If someone's like, "You're gonna die," I'd be like, "I'm gonna sit and listen." Like, okay, tell me. What do I
Tell
have
me
to do?
more.
Yeah.
Okay. Hunt decides he's gonna go get laid. He doesn't seem that bothered by everything. I would honestly just let Hunt go. I'd be like, he seems fine
lost
with
cause.
it. And then Nick gets more CGI visions that lead him back to the racetrack. So they go back, and it's a mess. And
Which,
they're-
how did they get in there?
well, security is one guy,
Yeah, it's one
apparently. So yeah, he goes to the track and he's like trying to like retrace his steps and be like, okay, that person died here. He's trying to figure out the order to break the chain. Although, like, this is kind of hard to like get invested in because we as the viewer know that if it skips you, it'll just circle back. They don't know, but
Yeah.
they don't know, but we know. So it's just like I'm kind of less invested in their mission
Yeah.
because I know it's doomed to fail.
We would know this because we're fans and
Yeah.
we watch the movies, but I feel like other people in the theater will just like go to see.
That's true. And also, they're
think it's
making
gonna be a
these where
happy
you don't
ending.
have to watch the previous one. So
Right.
this could be someone's first Final Destination
And
movie.
the girlfriend in it keeps telling him, let's go. And it's like, but it's working. This is helping him.
So yeah, he kind of figures out the order of everyone dying. Then the security guard shows them the tape to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it easier, and they learn that the mechanic guy is next to die. So he's working at a custom mechanic shop, and they visit him, and then they almost crush him. Like the girl bumps. I do like when they walk in. It reminded me of the gym in
Yep.
3, where she's looking around at all the things that could go wrong. Nick does the same thing. He's looking at. He's like, "That's combustible. That's sharp." And then what's her face bumps into the thing and almost crushes the dude.
And she was so casual about it too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you almost just killed someone.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, the Final Destination universe, everyone should be fired from their job. Because the boss is like, hey, get your friends out of here. They can't be in here. It's like, you should be way more angry. Also, the mechanic should be like, I don't know who the hell these people are.
He's like, all right, my friends.
He was so much nicer, though, like, than his character in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, that girl is a bad influence.
Yeah, she was probably getting him drunk all the time from
was just-
strangers' drinks,
Yeah.
apparently. He's depressed, and then George reveals that he was a drunk driver who got his like wife and kid killed. I'm like, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty heavy, deep thing to put in
Yeah.
your movie that's about to have the most cartoony death I've ever seen. While this is happening, the van in the shop like gets loose and almost crushes him, and you're like, oh, okay, he's safe. No. Because the spool that's attached to the van breaks off, hits an air tank that slams him into the fence. And then we get CGI
Yeah.
diamond-shaped gore coming out, and it looks so bad.
So bad.
I was watching this and I was like, I don't think that's possible. Like, obviously, I'm not thinking the Final Destination's like very scientifically factual.
Yeah.
But like, my boyfriend was like, no, that would happen. And I'm like, I don't think you would get sliced into perfect cubes through a fence.
It wouldn't be that organized. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be that even.
Yeah, I'm like, I think you would just get like crushed.
This is like a
in the-
cookie cutter. Like, no,
Yeah.
blood would be spilling out the
He was
Gorgons.
so convinced. He was like, that would actually happen. And he
And
was
that
like,
was-
that's not a regular chain link fence. Look at that. It's metal. And I was like, I don't know, Michael, but
It wouldn't be that delayed or nice, but
Yeah.
like it reminded me of the laser kill in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Which was way cooler. And I'm just like, that was right. And it also looks like shit. It
Yeah.
looks so bad.
And that was a dummy, too. It was practical. And then they just cover it with...
was it
Was
really?
it?
Why are
Yes.
they doing that?
Yes.
Was it
Did you look
practical?
it up or could
Yes.
you like tell? Okay.
I looked... Yes,
That's
I looked it
interesting.
up.
Okay.
I don't
You're
know,
like,
I
that
feel
was a
like-
dummy and then they switched it.
I feel like the gooey bit that falls out is digital, though. It could be like he was practical, but that part was
Maybe.
digital. But then
Yeah.
like the people like through the hole are like obviously green
Yeah.
screen. I just every time a kill, like you go for these movies for the
3D
kill.
time.
And every time you get to a kill, it's just cartoony and dumb, but like not in like a cool way. And you're like, oh, it's just, we're like halfway through this, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah. I wonder if they thought like the practical effects made it look cheap or something. And they're like, let's put like digital on top of it.
It also could just be this is like they're shooting with like HD cameras, which weren't great
Yeah.
yet, and 3D on top
That's
of
true.
it.
They did it to make
Yeah.
practical effects 3D then.
Yeah, they really hadn't figured out 3D yet. The only one who was doing it right at that time was like James Cameron with Avatar, but that's like
Yeah.
a whole different thing. So many 3D 2010s movies. We should cover more of those.
Okay.
They're terrible. They're
Yeah.
so bad. What did you talk about recently? Fright Night, the remake was in 3D.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
They were
know
trying to
that.
make a lot of horror movies 3D. The one thing I could say about this is all the kills are during the day so you could see them. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember, but like Real D 3D, you would put it on, it would make the screen dark, and then you would go watch a spooky horror movie that was in the
That's
dark
so
and you couldn't
true.
see anything.
And then something would just pop out.
Yeah. And then maybe you would see something. There was one night in 2010, I saw the Fright Night remake and the Conan the Barbarian remake in 3D. And there were so many dark scenes we couldn't see anything. In between that, we watched 20 minutes of the Glee 3D concert movie. It was the best 3D movie we watched that night because it was brightly lit and colorful. Like, we can actually see.
What's
I
3D
love
about
that.
Glee?
They just shot
Just
it.
like pointing at
No, it was a concert, but they shot it with 3D cameras. But it was so bright
so
and
random.
colorful.
It's so random.
So we literally saw Fright Night where we're like, I can't see anything. We see Glee, and then we go into Conan the Barbarian where like the whole end is in a cave. We're like, I can't see anything. Like, should we go back to Glee? We can see something.
Doing Glee like
You could have seen me in the audience for that.
Did you go to the
I went to a Glee show and they were filming the audience. They came up to us, yeah.
you gotta rewatch
So
it.
there,
Find
you got to
Casey.
add that to
Yeah.
your IMDb. You were in
Oh, I
Victor Crowley,
should.
and you were in the Glee 3D
Yes.
concert movie, maybe.
I will sign your DVD.
So Hunt did as he's promised. He got laid at the pool. And then he finishes and goes right
Which
to playing
was
a video
so
game.
graphic.
Yeah.
His love scene was so graphic.
There was a bit of nudity in the previous movie, but there haven't been like
No.
outright sex scenes
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, and that's why I like these movies.
Yeah.
Because they don't they,
Yeah.
it
And, like,
just
in a
seems-
Look
Cabana.
at this prude over here.
I know, I really do sound
No
like
gore,
one.
no nudity. You would really hate the boys, actually. You would hate a lot of
Yeah.
nudity.
You're like, I don't want any boobs in my violent murder movies. And also the murders better not
like,
be
also,
too
I
violent.
love Terrifier.
And also I love Terrifier.
Where, yeah. You know.
But like when that scene was happening, I was like, oh, he's at a sex club or like a
Yeah.
sex pool thing.
No.
And I'm like, oh, there's like
No
kids in the
way.
pool.
No,
Never
it's
mind.
the local swim
You're
club.
like
He has a
gonna
tent
be a
and he's
sexual
Gross.
offender on a list if
Yeah,
they caught you
he
doing
just
that.
put like the flaps down on his tent. I'm like, that's not gonna cover it,
Yeah.
buddy. What are you doing?
It did remind me of the love scene from Friday the 13th.
A little bit, yeah.
The remake.
Yeah. Okay. He should have used some of those lines. Instead, he's like,
Oh, yes!
you ever play a game called Donkey Punch? Apparently, he ad-libbed a bunch
Oh
of
my
fake
gosh.
names. And the director just let him go do it.
The lines. Your boobs are stupendous.
That's the best part in Friday the 13th. So yeah, he's getting laid, and then Janet helps a homeless man who, of course, is not appreciative. He's like, a penny, and he throws it, and the pigeon shits on her car. Her boxy Scion. The previous movie had a boxy Scion. I have the nice curvy Scion. But these movies had the boxy ones. The fifth one didn't have a boxy Scion. Because it was a
Spoiler
secret prequel. It was a secret prequel. It was a prequel to the first movie. I waited for that one. Of course I was going to spoil it.
Okay, wait. I knew that. I knew
you.
that because when we were watching this one, when they were like, let's
I'm
go
at
to
a loss for
Paris,
words.
I was like, oh, is this the one where they're doing that? And then it wasn't. Okay, so
Now
not a
you know
total
which
spoiler.
one.
Casey got so mad at me. He spoiled it, but you had seen the movie before.
Not a total spoiler.
Okay.
My heart right now. I'm at a loss. I'm trying to forget it, and you keep reminding me.
That's
Keep
like, did you
reminding
see
me.
the trend where it's like, oh, you lost all your memory, we're so sorry. And it's like, sorry. And it's like sitting down and starting the Scream movies over again. And like, you could do Final Destination all over again if
Yeah.
you lost your memory.
Casey got mad that I told her Predator 2 was in L.A.
Oh.
She's like, I can't believe you spoiled it. And I'm like, Casey, the first credit says Los Angeles, and it was on the poster. Like, it's not a spoiler.
God.
Posters do ruin. What's another there was another poster that really spoiled the twist of a movie. It'll come back to me.
I hope
but-
I've seen it.
Oh,
Oh,
but-
Planet of the Apes. Planet of the
Oh,
Apes, where
okay.
it shows like was it like the Statue of Liberty or something?
Oh,
like
yeah,
that?
all the
Yeah.
home video releases do the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, and it's
so-
like okay.
So dumb.
Well, yeah, the most recent example is the new Captain America. They kept showing Red Hulk. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's going to be big part of the movie. I'm like, oh, no, it was like, when you watch the movie, it's a secret that it was building up to, this big
my
twist that the president's a Red
Yeah.
Hulk. And I'm like, but it's on all the posters. What is...
And they've been showing that it's
They literally, if anything, I thought the whole movie was about the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This was your big reveal? You spoiled it so much. Anyway, so yeah, the bird shits on her car, and she has to go to a, a car wash. And her sunroof is broken. Her
Got a
sunroof,
lot of change
Yeah.
on her.
she did have a lot of
Yeah.
It was
change.
in her cup holder too. Did
Yeah.
you see it? Her cup holder was filled with coins.
Oh, that was a thing.
Oh, we forgot to mention, Hunt has like a lucky coin
Yeah.
Yeah,
that he mentioned
lots of
earlier.
coins,
Because
yeah.
it's about to come up in the dumbest way possible. Nick sees a sign that says Clear Rivers Water
Another Easter egg.
something. Yeah.
Easter egg. That's pretty.
Yeah. Which is Ollie Lauder's character, Clear Rivers, from the first two movies. And he gets a vision about a water-related death. There's some like thermometer. He sees water. He's like, someone's gonna die with water. Oh, and in the original death, they die at the same time, but he's not sure which one
Oh,
died
that's
first
right.
because it would be like a
Yeah.
microsecond, but he's
Yeah.
not sure. So they don't know what they're gonna do. Him and Laurie are like, which one do we go to? Something gets sucked into the pool that Hunt is at, and it breaks the drain.
There's a boy shooting at him with a water gun,
Right.
and then he takes it from him,
Yeah.
and then he throws it in the trash, but it hits something.
Yes.
It's the
That makes it-
pump, the drain.
The
Yeah,
drum,
makes the
the
drain.
pump, yeah. And then she goes into the car wash.
Yeah, I totally forgot about this one.
Yeah, well, I remember this. This one they put in like the trailer.
Yeah, this is a good.
Yeah.
This is good.
It's great.
And it
Yeah.
says put the antenna down, and she doesn't put her antenna
Oh.
down. Now, my Scion, I don't have to worry about that. The antenna's very tiny. It's on the back of the car. I'm being very sad because I have to get a new car, and I'm going to miss the shit out of that Scion.
You can put your antenna down?
Huh?
You can put it down?
Oh, old antennas that like are up,
Okay.
they can like retract. And
Got
stuff.
it, got it.
I don't think my car has an antenna.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
do mine have
but a
one?
lot of them don't. Like after a certain year,
Yeah.
they're like internal. Like you don't really need them anymore. I know one guy who doesn't have an antenna. Whoever was parked in the parking lot 10 years ago, my friend was like way too drunk and just ripped off a guy's antenna.
That guy would be safe going through the
Yeah,
car.
he was like, well, at least I won't die in a car wash, but I would like to listen to the radio.
Oh my
Music or
gosh,
die.
I sound so dumb. I never knew that's what that was for.
it hasn't.
Ever.
Kind of like a TV, right? Isn't that like? To get
Yeah,
channels?
yeah.
But I
mean-
always wanted an antenna topper. And whenever I would get one, it never fit my antenna.
Oh yeah, I forgot they made that.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa.
So she forgets to retract it, and it snaps off into an open fuse box. Who's running this car wash? They need to be fired. They need to be sued.
Also, the pool. Why is the way to drain the pool right next to the pool with all the people in it? Like, why is it that easy to drain the pool?
Yeah, and it's intense.
Yeah, yeah.
And then her sunroof opens while she's trapped in the car wash, and it starts to flood her car. Meanwhile, Nick, his lucky coin falls into the pool, and he's like, I'm going to go jump into the pool to look for it. It's
He's like, I need it.
just let it go, buddy.
Yeah.
And he gets sucked into the drain. So Janet tries to come out of the sunroof, and she gets just her head out, and suddenly it works again.
course.
Yes, and it's like going toward the big wiper. And that was the shot that was in the trailer,
Yeah.
her head. And everyone was like, oh, we got to see that. We got to see what happens. Luckily, Lori and Nick split up. Lori is able to like just assumes she knows what's happening on the other side of the car wash and just rams into her.
What if it was a stranger? Just like,
Yeah.
go back.
Also, I hope her head doesn't get chopped off. I'm gonna run into her car while it's trapped in a sunroof. I'm like, that would have like.
Also, why did she go with Bubba and Nick go by himself? Why couldn't Bubba go by himself?
Bubba barely knows Hunt.
I
Hunt would
guess,
probably be like,
yeah.
"Are you the security guard? What are you doing here?"
I love that we're calling
Yeah.
him Bubba.
Yes, I can't remember. Yeah. But car washes in general, pretty scary.
Yeah.
So that was a good one to choose.
That was a good
Yeah.
that this is one of the even though it doesn't lead into a death, it is definitely like one of the most tense
Yes,
scenes
it's
very
in the
tense.
movie.
Because she could die, like, she could have drowned. She could have
Yeah.
gotten her head. There's a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like a pipe falls.
Yeah,
That was
oh,
that was
yeah.
Death's backup plan. Like,
Yeah.
maybe the pipe
Like,
can
oh, shoot.
fall.
Yeah, knock that one down.
But no, Lori comes in, like kicks open the sunroof and like saves her. So Death has skipped her. But unfortunately, Nick gets to the pool a little too late, and what's his face Hunt has all his internal organs sucked out into the pump, and
yeah.
it shoots all his blood and viscera out of the pump.
It's
So
like,
gross.
it's through his butthole, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it sucks it out through
Wow.
his butthole.
And then you
Yeah.
see his back like break.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know,
That's
when I
the
was-
death I remember most.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now after watching that, because I saw it in high school too, and
Yeah.
then whenever I was swimming, I was like, don't go near your back.
Yes.
You're gonna get sucked through your asshole.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that would happen.
You don't think that the pool drains at such
such
velocity?
an insane velocity that it will rip
Yeah.
your inside. No, I don't
And
think it has that
The
much
thing
pressure.
that has the capability to do that is right there, and anyone can touch it.
Wow.
No, you got to worry about is your hair getting stuck.
Yeah.
That's happened to
Yeah.
people.
Ugh. Gross.
Wear a thing.
okay.
Also, don't be swimming right next to the drain. I don't know why.
What if my coin's down there?
Yeah, I guess if your lucky coin goes down there, you got to swim down there and grab that
and
coin.
I'm going to get it.
So they're all horrified, probably because one of their friends was just sucked inside out. That would horrify me.
And that was a fake, as we know, they couldn't use practical
Yeah.
because it was a real community pool.
Yeah.
So
It sucks we couldn't see like the floating skin, like a
Yeah.
meat bags.
Blood.
well, yeah.
So yeah, then they're discussing afterwards, and George is okay with dying. He's like, I want to see my family again. I don't care.
And also, none of them care about Hunt. Like they don't even.
Oh, I don't
care.
even know if they were really friends
Yeah.
with him. I'm not
There's
really
no
sure.
funeral for him. Nothing.
Oh yeah, that's funny because funerals happen really quick in this universe. We
Yeah.
learned.
Yeah.
Like, was it the previous one? The twins die.
Yeah.
They have a funeral. I'm like that has to at least be a
Not
week. What are you
twins.
talking about?
The twins.
Weren't they twins?
No.
Oh.
They were just best friends.
Ah, okay. The twins are coming today, so twins
my
are on my
gosh,
mind.
yay.
They might be
Twins
here.
are on my mind.
Yeah, two little demons come down screaming Godzilla names. Those are my
Yay.
nieces.
They're joining
hope
for the
so.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah, they love hanging out here, just asking
That's
what
so
everything
cute.
is. Then they get a sign that gives them hope that the chain can be broken, and I forgot what the sign was because I watched this late last night.
The newspaper, right? They spilled it, and
And what did it say?
it like wet everything except for a sentence that
Oh God, I don't know.
is escaping me.
Whatever
It was
that
a really
sentence
promising
was,
sentence.
gives them hope that they can escape their fate.
Yeah.
So they go
Like
find.
quickly. They quickly
They're like, we did it.
Yeah. They quickly run to George, who is trying to kill himself. By the way, it's the most awkward scene where they're all sitting on the couch and he still has the noose on. I'm like, oh, buddy, take the noose off. But he's just like, I've been trying to kill myself all night, which I wish we kind of saw this, because we saw a little bit in 2 when he has the gun and they all are duds. But he's just like, I went into my garage and I put the exhaust on and then the car stalled and then I went and did this and then this
The pills. And he's like, I just throw them up.
Yeah, I downed a bunch of pills and I just threw them out. So while they're talking, they think that they broke the chain, like we said, and they celebrate. So they pop a bottle of champagne and the cork goes right toward the camera.
So
silly. What was that line
Such a
again?
good
Hold
3D
on.
time.
Something about not wanting it every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, something flies into like the cork. It was fine in the 80s when Friday the 13th 3 had like the yo-yos at the screen, but at this point we knew it was gimmicky. They shouldn't have done it. They all celebrate. Way later, Nick is packing for a trip. They're going away somewhere. I forget where they're going, but they're going on vacation.
Tropical place.
They said Paris, but then they changed it to Amsterdam.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah, because I was like, Paris, isn't that where they go in the first one? Or they're trying to go?
Yeah, and then Janet and Lori are planning to go see a movie. Nick gets a vision of a sink and a hospital, and he's like, uh-oh, something's happening. He learns that the cowboy never died. He just went into a coma. And he is currently recovering. He's like, oh no, the cowboy's next, then George. And oh no, we didn't stop anything. And Death apparently had just weeks to kill this guy, but I guess it couldn't think of a fun enough way to kill him, so it just let him live a little bit longer.
No, Death wanted to mess with these kids.
Yeah,
They wanted them to think you're all right, but no, just kidding.
I get it. It has such a wacky personality. Is it Tony Todd? Is he really the one doing it? We never know. So yeah, they're like, okay, we got to go save this cowboy. We got to go find this cowboy. I love when Nick and George are talking about like, okay, so Death's getting me. That means you're going to die, blah. And there's just doctors and nurses around them.
Yeah, I know.
In the elevator?
This is the best scene because you can tell they're like they're listening. They're uncomfortable, but they're actually interested in what they're saying. They're all like giving each other faces like, what the
I feel like I would leave the hospital. I'm like, they know something I don't. This is why
I would have thought they could help.
Yeah.
Like, how can we help you?
Yeah. Meanwhile, an old man is getting ready for physical therapy, but he's also being racist. So his orderly just leaves and lets the tub, who's above the cowboy, running.
Who leaves a tub running?
That guy, apparently.
He was
Oh,
like, you
gosh.
said that? Okay.
This scene also haunted me because when I lived in apartments, I'm like, I can't take a bath. Like, what if that happens?
I took baths all the time.
You would have to be like directly underneath of it, which unfortunately.
Well, I was the top floor, so I didn't worry about that. But remember,
No, I'd be worried I would fall. Like,
In your
they'll
bathroom.
fine.
see me in my
it depends where
bathtub.
you're living.
You're just worried about
Yeah.
being seen, not like falling to the floor.
Well, that was my
Being
thing.
seen.
Remember when we did the Munsters and I said the night before my kitchen flooded? I was afraid like my neighbors
a
were
lot
about to
going
come
on.
upstairs. I'm like, I think I
Yes.
stopped it. I think I stopped it. My landlord did not tell. I had a washer and dryer in my kitchen, and he did not tell me that there was a trap that you're supposed to clean every 3 months.
Well, that you
Helpful
should know.
knowledge.
It had been 8 months. So it like backed up and I went to unclog, water shot everywhere.
Oh,
And like I now remembering this, I'm like, I was so panicked that because I'm like grabbing
Yeah.
towels.
You're like,
I'm
everything's
like
gonna
trying to
fall
stop it.
through.
And I'm like looking at my front door. I'm like waiting for someone to come out and be like, what the fuck? I fixed it. It was fine.
now that I think about it, that did happen to one of my neighbors because of me.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't say. I forgot about that.
Well, Manny Muscat's got a call. Apparently, one of his neighbors was using their oven to heat their apartment. So the landlord would be like, "Are you home?" He's like, "No." It's like, "Okay,
That's crazy.
there's a problem right now."
That's really bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. So yeah, they get to the cowboy, but not in time. The whole flooding knocks the whole ceiling. I love the cowboy saw it and was like trying to crawl away, and it just crushed
Like
his
literally crawled right to the.
He should have just stayed. Yeah.
And I really wish he was wearing the cowboy hat in this scene. I know it doesn't make
Doesn't
sense.
like to take it off.
You know, it doesn't make sense, but I feel he'd be like, I'm awake now. Get me my hat. We cut to the mall, which is getting a new air conditioner that day, and they're
Oh, that's what's
they're
happening.
craning it right over the glass.
Yeah.
ceiling.
It looked like the Willow Grove Mall.
It
Didn't
did.
it?
It does. It does look
Yeah.
like a little Gromo. Nick and George, they're going to go find Lori and Janet. And a nice little wink to the first movie, George just randomly gets hit by a vehicle, which reminds me of the bus scene from the
Yeah.
first film. But I like that he's like, it's like deja vu. My wife always said bang.
I was really curious to hear what she said.
That was always the worst. You're like, I really wanted to know the end of
Yeah,
that.
what does deja vu mean?
The girls picked a great time to go to the theater. They're building new screens, and there's a lot of construction happening. Lori almost gets sucked into an escalator, so they're setting that up.
I was
Oh,
like, take
yes.
off the shoe.
Yeah, take off the shoe.
That happened to one of my sister's friends when we were on the escalator, and I quickly pulled it out.
It would
Quickly
just,
pull it out.
guys, it would just shred the
I know,
lace.
So,
But you never know.
that's so scary.
No, I feel like I think I do know. I think it'll just shred the lace. I mean, what kind of shoelaces
know.
are there?
And I was like, maybe I do have that maternal instinct. Yeah.
You could lift the car off the.
Yes. That's true.
You're like, I can get the lace out of the escalator.
It's temporary, but yeah, it has
Yeah.
happened. The
Adrenaline.
adrenaline kicks in. She almost gets sucked in. She's fine.
No.
In the construction area, a guy with Coke bottle glasses leaves it on a thing that starts magnifying
The
sawdust.
smallest little things can occur,
Yeah.
can cause your death.
Then a tarp sets off a fan that blows a cart that leaks fluid everywhere. And all of this is happening on the other side of a screen where they're watching the movie. The movie they're watching is, it's a made up one for the thing. What was it called? Love, Death?
Lays dying or something.
Yeah.
Love Lays Dying, I think. The actual footage is from the end of the Long Kiss Goodnight, the action movie from the 90s
No
with Samuel
way.
Jackson
Very
and
cool.
what's her face, Gina Davis. That's the footage of the explosion. It's
awesome.
from the end of that. The audio, I think they just added new audio.
Yeah.
The music,
What is this?
it's a leftover wig cap.
I just find the most
Stop
random
doing
things.
that every time. She just finds random stuff.
I've been looking at the Muppets Christmas Carol down here.
We
I'm like,
reviewed
that's
that.
a great VHS.
We reviewed that in December.
It's the best Christmas Carol.
It has the song, the missing song in the VHS version.
Really?
There's also a blow up doll. You probably saw it there. Crystal points that out in an upcoming episode. And I'm like, no, because we used to do a gimmick where we would have guests, but a dummy would hit the wall. But I can't do it on the new set. So I'm like, maybe I'll do it with the blow up doll. So I got the blow up doll and I just haven't tried it out. So now I just have a blow up doll underneath it. It's more leg roomy there
that?
now. Yeah.
Oh.
See it.
There used to not be as much leg room there. Stop doing the random set
Sorry.
pointing. She does it all the
I
time.
couldn't help it.
I think it's when I
It's not
wore the
opened yet.
I think it's with the Wolverine. I had the wig out. Oh, the music is from. God damn it, I forget. The music is also from a movie, and now I can't remember.
Really?
Oh, Dark City. The music is from Dark
Oh,
City.
I wouldn't have known these.
From the movie within a movie, which is a movie everyone keeps telling, or one guy keeps telling me to review over and over again. But after Under Wraps, I don't think I'm going to be reviewing movies people suggest over and over again.
Hear that?
Because one, it didn't do well, and two, he just won't leave a comment on that video.
Yeah, come on, man.
You
That
made
was
it for
for
one
you.
person and he hasn't watched it?
4 years he asked me on every single video to review Under Wraps, and then I did, and he didn't acknowledge it at all.
You just have to find him and can you tag people on YouTube?
No, I
Like, add
messaged
people?
him, and he literally said, "I can't bring myself to do it. I don't want to think it's over."
Oh, I
That's kinda
understand
sad.
that. I
No,
understand
he's
that.
insane. It's
I
not
understand.
sad. He's an insane,
He's
crazy
been working
person.
for something for so long and now he finally got it.
That's why I won't watch the Arnold series on Netflix because I love him so much. I
And
just
it's
can't
really
bring
bad,
myself
and
to
it's-
watch
Do you
it.
not want it to be
No, not that
ruined?
FUBU.
No,
Like you don't want to find out
Fubar.
information?
I'm really upset I still haven't met him. So it makes me sad to just watch him. And
Yeah, that show is
talk
bad.
about it.
Arnold's Netflix show is bad. Don't watch
But
it.
this was about him, the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that one.
His
Okay.
documentary.
Right. I didn't check that out. Anyway,
Which Joey C told me, but you should watch it. You'll love him even more. And I'm like, I know. That's why I don't.
don't listen to Joey C. I don't know if I'm fighting with Joey C at this moment.
You're not.
In the timeline of the no, I'm never really fighting. It's always internet fights. So yeah, Lori is starting to think she sees signs. She's like,
Oh,
something
yeah.
feels weird. Something's going on. Janet's like, shut up! Stop talking about all this death
They were
stuff.
so loud during that movie.
Oh, they
I was
really
getting
were.
secondhand shut up.
Yeah. But it's because she kept hearing things that people were saying in the initial premonition.
Yes. Yeah. And then the sir, move your foot, which
Yeah.
happened earlier.
Like the guy down front.
Yeah.
whatever he
Yeah.
says.
So the fire goes off in the background, and Nick struggles to find which theater she's in. He's like running around. It's like, oh, is it this one? Is it that one? And she leaves, and Janet refuses to leave. And she's like, I was meant to see this movie. Puts the glasses on, and then the movie within a movie, they're like, we're going to blow up the bomb. And then the theater blows up.
Yeah.
And like fucking rebar goes into everyone's head and just murders everyone. But then it doesn't stop there because it blows up a bunch of explosive barrels. I don't know why there's so much flammable liquid for a movie theater. Could
Right.
someone
For
tell
air
me?
conditioning units? Now that you said that's what they were putting in, why do they have giant tubs of...
I don't know. Someone let me know what that hazardous material was that's blowing up, but the whole mall starts blowing up. So I guess like Death planned a new mass killing and figured like the leftovers, it would work into this new killing. Although they didn't expect on another vision happening. But yeah, within this, Laurie gets stuck in the escalator, but now the stairs have fallen and all the gears are winding
Oh,
up
I remember
there.
that one
Terrible.
too.
Yeah.
She
That was
just
so
gets
good.
grinded into it like a meat grinder. I don't feel like we see a lot of it though.
No, more like
Was
just
slapping.
her pants
Yeah.
getting like...
Yeah.
Blech.
That's the thing. Like when it does show the gore, it's cartoony, and then it shies away from some of the stuff you would want to see. But yeah, it turns out this was a vision. Nick is like, oh shit, but like he snaps back in the
Raven
middle of
moment.
George's line.
I
The
know.
worst time, I would have been like, oh my God, move! Like,
He,
He
to his credit,
tried.
he tried to do that. He's just like deja vu. He's like, wait, Georgia!
what a
He
terrible time
accepted
to
it
snap
anyway.
back. Yeah. He wanted to die.
He goes to the theater. He now knows what's happening, so he goes right to the background. But Death is trying everything to stop him. Like the nail gun shoots him and pins him to
Yep.
the wall. Everything he's trying doesn't work. He eventually gets a stick with a fire on it and like brings it up to the sprinkler and then stops it before it blows up. But his arm's all messed up now. But yeah, he saves the day. Everyone's happy. I guess weeks later, he goes to the Death Cafe. Go to a different cafe.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, has had like a warning there the whole time written
It's
on the
coming.
table. Like, it's coming or something like that. I do like that he tells the guy, he's like, hey, your scaffolding's not tight. And he's like, thank you, sir. I'll work on it right away.
Didn't fix it.
You know,
No.
that guy's a liar. Also, why didn't he fix it right away? Be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I got to fix that right now.
He's like, yeah, I'll get to it. Thank you.
Yeah. I think he says we'll get someone on it right away. I'm like, you
Yeah.
now go down and
Like,
just
get off of this.
So they're all celebrating being alive. The homeless guy is there.
Why?
I don't know. He got enough change for a coffee. Why are you telling him how to live his life?
Oh, I just never mind.
Casey's like, get out, hobo.
Oh,
So,
just like how did he know? Well, I'm ahead of
Well, like,
myself.
yeah.
Go ahead.
which by the way, I love how like in the other movies, like when people start predicting things, the cops usually get involved. Daniel Roebuck will get involved,
Yeah.
like the first movie. Instead, they're like, oh yeah, you predicted another death. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
But while he's there, this is a lot like the ending of 3. They start to look around, and he's seeing like the pool where Hunt
Right.
died and all the other stuff. He's like, guys, what if we didn't stop it?
But wait, he was like, yeah, you saved a lot of people. Good job.
Yeah.
Did they just find him there?
I guess
you
so,
think?
yeah. Yeah, I guess
that?
they're like,
holding his fire
oh my
stick,
gosh,
just
he
like-
called it.
which by the way, yeah,
He could
he's
have
like-
caused it. They could have thought he caused
yeah, I
it.
would have been like, did you cause this?
Yeah.
You clearly were fucking around.
Also, yeah, I thought that when before the vision was fixed, when he got the girlfriend out and like ran, wouldn't you be in the movie theater like, are they doing a terrorist attack? Like, why the place like exploding? Why are they
Yeah.
all running out? They know something we don't. Everything explodes. Like, yeah, he looks really sketchy. I would not think that he saved everyone. I think he
Yeah.
caused it.
I'd be like, he's trying to like make he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I totally stopped that.
He
I
has
definitely didn't
a stick
accident-
on fire next to the explosive bins. They're like,
Honestly, I would be like, well, clearly he was trying to blow everyone up, but like
Yeah.
he tripped over a nail gun or something. Yes, the theater would be very suspicious, and we're not going to bring up anything else. He gets suspicious, and then sure enough, the scaffolding falls, makes a truck go right into them, and then it cuts to the X-rays
I love it.
of all of them dying. That it's kind of funny.
That
here.
is
really,
cool.
I was like, the second they came up on screen, I was like, Show me them dying.
Oh.
Nah, the X-ray thing is
Yeah.
funnier. I think it's funnier. And it's real brutal. Like, what's her face gets all the
Yeah,
bars through her
yeah.
head, and the other dude gets, like, thrown into the wall.
I just thought it happened really quickly, which I guess is like it's the end. But they were like, "Wait a minute," and then like the car, and I'm like, "More build up."
And I mean, it is kind of like on brand, because like the previous ones, it cuts
Yeah.
like right before you see the thing happen. So yeah, that ending's kind of fun, but overall, now we've come to the end. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's doing the formula right technically, but the 3D was a horrible idea,
Right.
and I think it ruined the movie. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna rewatch 5. I remember really liking 5, so I think it's safe to say that this is the worst Final Destination movie. How do you two feel about those?
I would think so.
Yeah, I usually
Yeah.
categorize it as
Yeah,
that.
yeah. There's a reason I haven't rewatched this.
Yeah.
But it's also like with the script, maybe. That
The,
also makes it bad, not just the 3D.
one.
yeah, the dialogue and the acting was a little like, ooh.
Yeah, it's like the first movie they were like trying a little hard. The second one is where they worked in a little bit more of the comedic stuff. But yeah, this one was a little tongue in cheek, like which I'm okay with. But yeah, when you binge them, watch them, it's like, oh, they're not taking it as seriously.
I
Yeah.
know that's a good way of saying it. Even the directing, it's just
Yeah.
not as yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
think you're ever like going into a Final Destination movie expecting cinema. You're not like,
Yeah.
this is film. Like you're just going in for a fun time. And I think like it's a bad, good movie.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like I would never, if someone's like, "Oh, do you want to watch it?" I would never be like, "It's terrible." I'd be like, "It's bad, but it's good." Like let's put it
yeah,
on.
like I still like it.
Yeah.
I would like if I'm like marathoning them, I'd put it on. But
Yeah,
I'm
for
never
sure.
gonna go. I'm gonna watch specifically that
for.
one. Yeah, no, I'll never do that. For me, it'd be like 1, 2, and 5.
Yeah.
Like,
And
those are the
3.
ones.
Well,
3.
we like
Three.
three.
We like
You would
3.
do
Like
3.
I'll throw that on whenever.
Yeah.
It's your comfort movie.
Yeah.
You know, when those girls are burning alive, just makes me feel all warm inside. Not as warm as they are, because they are burning alive.
Wow.
But yeah,
Great.
yeah. Casey left her disc here.
Not the case, just the disc.
3D ruined it. I'm gonna go back and watch more of those 3D movies. I want to see how they hold up.
Probably not well.
Probably not.
They really had like a renaissance in the mid 2000s,
They
and now no
did.
one's doing it anymore. Which I hate 3D movies. I get really motion sick. So when that was happening, I was like, great, I can't go see movies anymore because they're all 3D.
Oh.
Yeah.
It
They
depends.
stopped.
Yeah.
It depends on the movie. There are some that did it really well. The one I go to is
Like Glee.
what is it?
Like Glee.
Well, the Glee concert movie,
best
of
one.
course. The Glee concert movie is the gold standard. Look, we had 20 minutes to kill, and we still had
I
3D
love it.
glasses on. We're like, let's go see Glee, I guess.
And that's the best 3D movie you've ever seen.
Probably no. The best one I've ever seen was Dredd, the 2012 Judge Dredd. That one uses 3D well because they take a drug that slows down time, and like the 3D effects are actually really cool because it's part of their drug trips.
I mean,
that
it like fits the plot, I guess. But that
yes,
one.
yes, and like James Cameron, there are some directors who use 3D to actually add depth of
Yeah,
field. Not like
Avatar.
what this producer
Yeah.
said, who's
Right.
lying. There are ones that use 3D well, but overall, it's
Yeah.
pretty gimmicky.
I think
and
mine is Spy Kids 3.
no, that is a
like
bad
that
example.
I just remember I think that's the first one I ever saw in 3D.
Yeah.
The thing is, your 3D movie has to also work as 2D. If there's too much of
a
this
good point.
in your
It's so
movie,
weird
it's
watching it,
bad.
yeah.
It's bad.
I saw it was one of the Chris Pratt Jurassic Parks or Jurassic Worlds, and
Yeah.
that was in 3D, and I didn't mind that one.
Oh,
Oh, I
okay,
had to
yeah.
see that last one. I had to see in 40x 3D. With
Oh,
the
No,
chair.
Terrible.
40X is so fun. I saw Twisters in 40X.
Oh, I wish
my
I saw
God, it was so-
Twisters in it.
It was so fun.
What did we see? We
Well,
saw
Tess,
the
since your
Godzilla.
last episode,
You don't like 40X or you don't
I
like Twisters?
hate 40x.
Okay, I've only seen Twisters in 40X. That's the only movie I've ever seen that way.
Yeah.
But I had a fun time.
No,
That
the-
was probably fun. I'm not
Yeah.
a huge fan of 40X either.
my first experience with 40x was Godzilla King of the Monsters. So whenever a building falls, they add smoke effects.
You just like couldn't see the screen anymore.
I don't know if you know this about that movie, but all of Boston gets destroyed. So smoke from the previous showing had not left the theater.
Oh.
So the whole beginning of the movie I couldn't see. And I turned off the water effect, but the empty seat in front of me had it on, so it shot over the seat into my eye.
It was like, no, you're still getting the 40X experience.
And
So
I'm
it's-
like, I hate this so much. And then I saw The Batman to make sure I stayed awake because I was
Yeah.
like, I just got off a flight and it was late and I had to see it. I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing 40X.
Uh,
And then my jerk cousin made me watch it for her daughters, the Jurassic Park.
yeah.
And then the youngest one made me stand in the aisle because she was afraid
So
of the
funny. That's so
So I'm
sweet.
done 40X.
Yeah.
40X is done.
I'll give it one more go and I'll report back with
Okay.
my thoughts.
I was not going to risk
Yeah.
Twisters.
Twisters
in 40X.
was really fun in 40X. It was great.
I saw It Chapter 1 on accident in 40X, and it was the worst thing ever
That's a
because
weird
there's
movie.
no.
Yeah.
They just were doing it at random times.
Yeah, well, I'm like,
So
what would
uncomfortable.
even be the thing of that?
And I had like I suck in my Chick-fil-A, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't even
That was-
enjoy
wait.
this meal.
That was one of my favorite things. Jurassic World Dominion. Monica was there. She had the drink, and she's like, didn't finish the drink, and she's like crying. She's like, I'm sorry.
Because you go to a theater that serves like alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people all around me with it, and I'm like, you're gonna be drinking, and your seat's gonna be shaking the whole time.
I know.
I'm like, you're gonna throw up.
Anyway, I will not be seeing Final Destination Bloodlines in 40X.
I can't wait to see it.
I
When is
will.
it? Yeah, you will. That should be the one.
Yeah.
Then you'll
May,
like
I
it.
think. I don't know if it'll be in 40X.
So many movies are coming out in May.
Well, yeah, it's the start of the summer season. That is going to be a busy month. But yeah, I got to do one more Final Destination before this.
I'll be there if
almost-
you need me.
I will let you know. Well, no, because I might be spoiling 5 while we're reviewing it for you.
You got me there.
Tony, you're spoiling it, Casey. It's the review. I
You
don't
just
wanna-
watched it.
But anyway, we will be back for Final Destination 5 at some point. I'm glad we finally returned to the series and we're able to get them all out. I'm supposed to be doing all the Saw sequels, but it's like March-ish now, and there's still no announcement of the new movie. They
It's
said,
supposed to be this year, though.
yeah,
right?
but there's no trailer or
Yeah.
anything, so I might be like delaying some of the Saw episodes until there's a trailer. So yeah, that opens up the year. We got to figure out some more movies we can throw in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've given
Tess.
you ideas.
Huh?
I've given you ideas.
You've given me many ideas.
Yes.
Tess, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Tess Givnish Artist. I also, like we said, just started a YouTube channel. We just checked it, but I also can't remember. Is it just Tess Givnish?
No, it's Tess Givnish Artist.
Okay, the same handle on Instagram, on YouTube.
I will
and-
link to it
Okay.
in the description
Yeah,
here.
there's only 3 videos right now, but we're gonna keep it rolling.
Well, there's plenty of shorts. You can be
yeah,
active
yeah,
over there.
yeah. But that's where you can find me.
And Casey, what do you got going on?
Nothing. I know. I'm so busy with work, but I really gotta like do something creative. But you can find me on Instagram at Casey the Final Girl.
Do
Always
that.
posting.
And what do I got going on? Sign up for Patreon. Patreon's doing a lot of crazy things over there.
I have a great idea for To Be Tuesday.
Okay, tell me
Remind me to
afterwards.
tell you. Yes.
But no, consider if you don't want to pledge. Well, one, a lot of our commentary tracks are available to purchase without pledging. But become a free member because I have this thing turned on. It will randomly make free members members temporarily as a trial.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, become a free member. Try that out. And yeah, so I don't know if I could talk. I can't talk about it. I'm involved with a Patreon thing that I can't talk about.
Oh, that's awesome.
But become a patron. There's a lot of fun stuff. Even if it's just a free member, become a patron over there. There's some fun stuff. Hit me up on Cameo. You can book me on Cameo. Did you know that?
That's fun.
Yes, cameo.com/Tony Peluso. I'll say pretty much anything. I'm not going to, the one guy keeps saying like, hey, will you make out with Crystal? I'm like, no, I don't want to, gross, and also terms of service. But you can get me to do anything. I had to motivate some people.
Oh,
had
I
to
like that.
wish happy birthdays to people. I had to make fun of some guy. You want me to make fun of someone?
Just bully.
Oh.
My brother-in-law made me get a cameo for my own mother. So I'm like, hey, Donna, I hear you're a good mom. I hope your kids. I'm like pretending I'm like she's not my mom. So yeah, do any of that. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, we'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, Future Tony here. A few months ago, during the Royal Rumble weekend, Cody Rhodes read a sign that mentioned Chris Chan.
Christine Chandler loves Barb.
And the person who held this sign, turns out, was a fan of mine. Such a big fan that he was wearing a shirt with my face on it. So there is now a video of poor Cody Rhodes acknowledging the existence of Chris Chan with my face on some guy's body. Anyway, I thought it was completely ridiculous and hilarious, and I decided I would let that guy leave a whole rant about Final Destination 4 in this review. So, take it away.
All right. Yep. Recording. Okay. Recording. Good. I had to send this out to you, Tony. I had to send this out. Okay. So, I heard some rumblings in the grapevine that you were reviewing the Final Destination, the fourth in the Final Destination franchise. Vision that actually goes in line with what movie you're going to be watching. And I don't know if you have seen the movie for a while, but I think I know how your reactions are going to be. Or at least that's what I saw from my premonitions, which for some strange reason that they kind of went all weird, 3D, like pop out right at you, like at the camera, like, I just wanted to warn you that, I saw these visions and you're not going to like it because, spoiler, the movie's pretty fucking bad. If I recall right, the first part of the vision is you're going to be talking about the racetrack scene where there's going to be a lot of shit that doesn't make sense. Like, how does a car that's already on fire gets plowed into, explodes, sends out its hood, and that slices up two people in half? One of them is actually an actor I really like. He's more of an indie actor, but he's relegated to being a one-dimensional racist, which, unfortunately, he's pretty good at playing racist characters. Justin Wellborn, give him a look, especially in Dance of the Dead. This is from what I'm seeing in the vision here. I don't think you're going to like the lead actor. Holy Jesus. I mean, the acting in this film, as I'm sure you can tell, you might be able to tell, you probably will be saying it in the video, the acting ranges from, Michael T. Williams, or Bubba, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. That's always how I pronounce his name. The guy that plays the security guard, George, he puts in a pretty good performance considering the material he's working with, along with some of the other actors like Andy the mechanic. But the main character himself, Nick, played by Bobby Campo. Yes, Bobby Campo. I don't know if this was an off day for him or not, because I have seen him in other roles, admittedly not a lot. Like, he was at a Law & Order SVU episode, or was it Criminal Intent? One of those two. He was definitely in one of those episodes, and he was actually decent as, like, one of the main suspects in the episode. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, so obviously he's working with TV here. Maybe he'll be good as the main lead. And he gives some of the dullest, not given a fuck, or not given enough of a fuck acted I have ever seen. There's actually few films that actually sincerely pisses me off at how bad it is. Like, I love the Final Destination series. I remember first seeing it, like, the original on DVD, like, around the time it came out, and I was pretty impressed. And I saw the second and third films in theaters around the time they came out. Same with the fifth film, which, spoiler, way better film than this one, but I saw the visions of what is to be, what is to come, or hints of what will be. It depends. It's like the films. The rules change up every goddamn film. Best of luck, Tony, with this film. God help your soul, and stay hacking and often, and well, let me turn this off.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.